Exciting first round matchup between Emma Raducanu, U.S. Open champion, and Sloane Stephens, U.S. Open champion. I was really looking forward to this match. Watch it from beginning to end. Lots of good points. Very interesting match to me. I call it fire and ice. So if you didn't watch the match, let me just kind of recap it. And then as you guys come on in, definitely give me your thoughts on the match and also other things that you saw today at the Australian Open. Lots of cool things to talk about. But Emma, I think everybody was very excited to see what was she going to do for an encore after she had gone to Wimbledon. Remember, she goes to Wimbledon. She becomes an instant overnight success and wins like 3 or 4 rounds. And then all of a sudden has like an anxiety attack on the court and has to withdraw. Kind of crazy. Then she goes to the U.S. Open, has to go through qualifying and then through the entire draw and goes through and wins 10 matches in a row pretty easily, never really challenged. And then she comes here, and the tournament before she comes to the Australian Open, she loses 6-1, 6-0. Ouch. So I was very curious to see what's she going to do when she comes out against Sloane. She comes out absolute fire. I mean, just pumped up. I think it was 4 huge first serves in a row, lots of times followed up by either a big forehand or backhand winner. You could see Sloane was kind of shell-shocked in the beginning because Sloane, I wish she'd get a little more pumped up at times, but she kind of is always kind of like tries to keep herself even keel. After you even see her get disappointed after a shot, you know, she'll make like, oh, she's upset that she missed, and then she'll just kind of like go back to being calm. So that's kind of the way she likes to carry herself on the court. But Emma, right off the bat, was just on fire. She's hitting shots big, pumping her fist, looking at her box, a lot of energy, and also just a lot of pace off her racket. You know, not really, I would say, as the match went on, she was forced to have more variety, but in the beginning, not really much variety. It's all one pace, like pop it, crush it, pop it, crush it. And it worked perfectly the first set. It was clear that she was in the zone, and Sloane was just trying to play catch up. Maybe a little too low energy for the occasion, but to her credit, she didn't panic. You know, I was wishing she would get a little more animated, even frustrated, and show a little more fight. But she kept calm. She kind of kept like this, and Emma's way up here, off the charts, radar energy, in the zone, playing perfect tennis. And then the next set, the first game was so huge because it went back and forth. Deuce-sad, deuce-sad, deuce-sad. Sloane's starting to fight more, still same energy. But what you could see is Raducanu, hello, Bashkar. Raducanu started to just miss a little bit. And I think that that's what Sloane was hoping for. Like, if I can just stay calm, you know, this young lady is not going to be able to keep this up for 2 sets straight. And so Sloane was right. All of a sudden, the shots that Emma was hitting for winners, all of a sudden they're going this far out. The first serves starting to go this far out. Everything going a little out. And Sloane also getting a lot more balls back in play in the second set. And so Emma wins the first set 6-0. And then Sloane wins the second set 6-2. And I think the second set was the best because Emma was always high energy and always appeared to be fighting very hard. And Sloane lifted her level. Emma brought her level down a little bit, not too much. I thought she still played pretty well, but definitely a lot more unforced errors. And the experience of Sloane got her back in the match. So you thought, okay, third set, we're about to go toe to toe. And nope. Again, Emma goes way up here, Sloane down here, and her staying down there just couldn't keep up with Sloane's energy, in my opinion. I think that was the big difference in the match. You know, I kind of, as a coach, debate like what's better to have. You know, just this even keel personality where you can't tell if you're winning or losing. You don't get too excited. You don't get too down. Although I think Sloane goes like this and then a little down, and then occasionally will give you a fist pump. You know, you can she's trying to stay like this, but you can still see the disappointment on her face after she misses. Like Federer's able to stay like this, but after he misses, lots of times you don't even see an expression. Sloane, when she misses, will give you a little grimace, like she's, not so happy with that. But then she goes right back to being here. But I think that was too much down here. And then she'd go down here, and Emma was up here the whole match. And so as a coach, if I'm going to pick what do I like better, I'd rather see my student high energy, jumping and dancing a little bit before returns. Even sometimes I like the way Maria Sharapova used to bounce the ball and kind of jog before she'd serve. And so I really loved Emma's energy the entire match. No matter what the score was, she wasn't even because she was always just through the charts. Like she must have a bunch of Red Bull before she goes on the court or something. So it was really amazing and cool to see, after all the pressure that she's been through, that she is able to handle it and come on out and get a big first round win against a big quality opponent like Sloane, very experienced champion who's been on the tour a long time, knows how to win a lot of matches. And Emma was able to prevail with high energy, amazing shot making, great effort, positive attitude, all the things as a coach you love to see. Looking at her box, not yelling at her box like some players do. Like Andy Murray seems like he likes to yell at his box a lot, but Emma likes to fist pump and give them that look like we've got this today. And I love that as a coach. So super happy to see Emma go through, win her first round at the Australian Open. Let's see here, some comments. Make sure you guys put your comments here. Let me know what you guys think. Sloane's still in a honeymoon state of mind. Yeah, she was not happy after the match. She kind of got out of there in a hurry. But she did just get married. I guess she's married to a famous footballer, soccer player. Bashkar says, hey, good morning, Pete. Okay, so Emma through. What do you guys think of her chances? I really love her energy. I love her power. I definitely see her getting nervous from time to time, and it'll be interesting how she goes through, because she just seems to have one pace to me. She's like all right through 100 miles an hour. I think she's going to need to develop a little more variety in her game. I would love to see her go far. I don't know. It's like a match-by-match thing for me after watching this match. Sloane lost with 3-on-4 service return errors. Hate break between sets. That's true. Never mind locker room visits on even games. Love the old overlap when you go straight to the set right away. Yeah, that's true. It can, especially if you're somebody who just won a set. It is totally a break in momentum when you both get to go back into the locker room and take a break. And certainly I think that hurts Sloane. And Emma seems to always be able to figure out how to turn the energy on. And Sloane seems like it takes her a while to get going. And I think that this has been a big problem in her game, to be honest. So, Emma, what do you guys think? How far do you think she can go? Do you think she can back up the U.S. Open and win the Australian Open? That would be a big ask. Really disappointed to see Leylah Fernandez go out so easily. I was looking forward to seeing Leylah go deep in the tournament as well. She seemed to be really exposed. The girl just completely overpowered her, and wasn't really much of a match. So that was kind of disappointing to see. Sloane is not having the same motivation she had back in 2015. I mean, that's very true. And that's kind of one of the disappointments of Sloane Stephens' career to me, is you can see even in this match, when she turns it on, it's kind of weird. Like she gets to like everything, but yet she looks and don't kind of get what I'm saying the wrong way. She appears to be lazy on the court, but she's not lazy. She's working very hard. It's apparent she chases a lot of balls down. She's just maybe very efficient. I don't know. It's kind of a weird look, but when she gets in the zone, it's kind of cool to watch. It's like she's just there, and she doesn't even look like she's working hard to get there. And her balls get real heavy, and then when she gets a good look, she's able to step on the gas a little more and hit through the court and hit some winners. And she did that beautifully at the US Open. And really, before Sloane won the US Open, I thought her career, again, when you're able to stay on the tour and make money, I mean, God bless you, you're doing something right. But for the talent she has, I always thought she was always underperforming. Her results weren't as good as they should be. And so when she finally won the US Open, I'm like, yes, now she's ready to come. And now she's going to show everybody how awesome she is. And she's going to have a great career, and she's going to become a huge star because she's got a great personality. But then, no, nothing. Like she just went right back. And what you saw today is kind of what you get out of her career. You see flashes of like, damn, she's really good. She should win more matches, but she's not able to sustain it for a whole match. So maybe she's a little too much like this. She got to learn to be a little bit more like Emma and get up, Sloane, for these matches. Show some fist pumping. Get the crowd behind you like Leylah Fernandez likes to do. I think if Sloane did all that, because the crowd would love to get on her side, she doesn't draw the energy from the crowd and from herself enough. And I think that was really the difference in the match. Emma comes out. She shows you she's excited to be there. The crowd feeds off the energy. The crowd starts rooting for you. That makes a big difference when you're out there trying to win a match. So, yeah, fun match. I'm happy that Emma won because I'm a big fan of both of them. But just as I was saying, I think Emma's got a lot more upside. Sloane, now she's married. She's been on the tour a long time. I don't see her all of a sudden becoming a contender week in and week out if she builds her confidence up. I just don't see that happening. Where Emma, I think she can really, if she can really put herself together and keep doing this, she'll become she's already a fan favorite, huge star. Her star is just going to get bigger and bigger. And she can have a really special career and, reach a lot of people who are maybe not tennis fans and make them tennis fans. That's the kind of power she can have. Long way to go for Emma. Too early. That's true, Bhaskar. Very wise words. Very wise words, Bhaskar. All right. So I do believe I was watching Tsitsipas too play Yemmer. Is that his name? That guy's flashy. The guy he played. I mean, that was a fun. I mostly watched Sloane, but when I watched Tsitsipas play, it was very entertaining because, I mean, Tsitsipas, we know he's fun to watch. He's a fun player to watch. And then his opponent also. But, yeah, Tsitsipas took care of business early and easy, 6-2, 6-4, which that's a nice way to win that because I think he was down 3-0 in the second set and then won 6-3. So, nice result for Tsitsipas. I know, Bhaskar, I think you were on one of our live streams and you said that Tsitsipas was injured in the elbow, but didn't look like it. It looked pretty nice. What do you guys think of Tsitsipas going forward? He's kind of flying under the radar. If you remember last year at the Australian Open, he really started turning on. He had that huge win against Rafa Nadal. Then Medvedev came out and put the beat down on him. But that really started his year. Then he played a ton of matches. He was playing more matches than almost anybody. He had a great indoor season. Then he went to the clay, had a great clay court season. We know he was this close to winning the French Open. And then once he didn't win that French Open, it seemed like all hell broke loose in his game. That must have really took a lot of energy out of him and drained him. Maybe took a lot of confidence away. Maybe a lot of motivation away. And then all of a sudden, the whole bathroom gate really, I think, hurt his mental state as well. So be nice. Can Osaka take out Emma? I mean, yeah, I hope players like Osaka stay in, Emma stays in, Barty stays in, Garbine, I hope she can stay in a long time. These are all the kind of people really love to watch play. And I hope Osaka can stay. I mean, to me, when Osaka is playing at her full capabilities, she shows that no one can really go with her toe-to-toe power-wise and speed-wise. I mean, she can really buzz around the court. And she also is when she's in a good state, she's got a nice, you know, just mental attitude out there. She likes to do the dancing before she serves. She likes to slap her thigh. She likes to pump herself up. Like she'll get ready to return and she's returning like this. I love to see all that. So I think if Osaka plays her best tennis in these 2 weeks, she will win the Australian Open. But that's a big if. She hasn't played a lot of tennis. She hasn't played a lot of tennis. Let's see here. Stevens, not lazy. Her movement is so continuous that you don't see the change of effort. Reminds me of Hingitt's. Yes, that's what I was saying. I did say, David, she's not lazy. It looks kind of lazy. And her mental state just kind of looks like this, which, again, a lot of coaches will kind of preach like, hey, you know, just you don't want people to know if you're winning or losing. You want to be able to look at the court and you don't know who's winning or losing. You don't want to get too up or too down. So that's obviously kind of like the way that she likes to do it. To me, I think it's too much just like this. I think she's got to get a little more up here. That's what I like to see as a coach. I don't like to see my coaches, my players all the way like this the whole match. I like to see the energy. I like to see the excitement. I like to know they're in the ring, baby. And that's what Emma does. Okay, so I'm super excited for Emma. Okay, we were also talking about, so two things we've been talking about, if you're just joining us, because I see that we're picking up on participation, which is fun, is we're talking about Stefanos and we're talking about Emma, and we'll also talk about Sir Andy Murray. Huge win today. Stefanos does not have it to be a Grand Slam champion when compared to Medvedev, Zverev, and Rafa. I mean, I think that is a statement that you can't quite say. I mean, how can you say he doesn't have it to be a champion when he got to the semifinals last year of the Australian Open and he got to the finals of the French, and he's one of the very few players to get there to the final besides Roger, Rafa, and Novak, and he took it to Novak for 2 sets. He was up 2 sets to nothing. He can do it. He can definitely do it if he's got the confidence and the motivation, which I think he still does. I do see Tsitsipas at some point being a Grand Slam champion. I mean, how can you say compared to Zverev? Zverev was there too and lost. So I don't know. You can obviously say Medvedev and Rafa because they've won it, and Rafa's won it many times, and Medvedev's won one, but he's been really close and just looks when he's on. I mean, it's hard to win a point against that guy. Emma really started like a cat on a hot tin roof. That's right. That's why I called the, if you saw my thumbnail, I call it fire versus ice because Emma was on fire. In the zone. That's got to be a good feel. When you just start out the gate, you're trying to sprint right out the gate and it actually happens and all your serves are going in and all your big shots are landing. Maybe that's why she lost a couple weeks ago, 6-1, 6-0. She probably tried to do the same thing and all the shots were going out and you can lose in a hurry playing that way. So that's what scares me about Emma's game is you can lose in a hurry if you try and play that way and it's not going the way you want. You can miss a lot of shots fast. Are you watching these matches? ESPN is not showing them. It's all football. I have the ESPN app, which is really cool. And I mean, I can just go from match to match. I was flipping between Tsitsipas and Emma, but I could have watched more if I wanted to. So get the ESPN app. It's totally worth it if you love tennis. Zverev's was a worse choker. Yeah, U.S. Open showed it. But I mean, you got to give him a credit. He's learned a lot since then, Bhaskar. And one of the things I like about Zverev right now is he's not choking. He's winning big points. He's not double faulting a lot. His forehand's gotten a lot bigger, a lot better, a lot more consistent. And the backhand's always been money. So I don't know if we can keep saying that about Alexander. I think it's changed a little bit, and I think you got to give him credit. All right, let's flip. So we talked about Emma. We talked about Tsitsipas. I want to see Stefanos go far. I think it's great for tennis when he's in the tournament. And it's also amazing. And there should be a movie made on this when you think about it. I mean, this guy's out there. Think about this. This guy's out there in his mid-30s playing with a hip replacement. Crazy. Andy Murray. Wow. Wild card Andy Murray. I still don't understand how he's a wild card because he's been back on the tour for a while. And whenever I turn on the TV, he wins. So how is he not in the top 120 yet. I don't understand how his ranking isn't higher, how he still needs wild cards. But he went out and played Bashavili, which if you don't know much about Bashavili, if you're not a tennis fan, you might not know a lot about Bashavili, but he has played fantastic in 2021. He became a seeded player. I think he's 23rd seed, something like that. And he beat Federer last year in one of Federer's very few matches. He beat Federer. He won. Did he end up winning that tournament? I think he won a couple tournaments. He won a ton of matches last year. He's been on the tour a long time, and he's like, I mean, talk about a heavy, big hitter. He's somebody who's got super heavy spin, big forehand, and very physical. I mean, so Murray was able to withstand that and win in 5 sets. And he came, watching him address the crowd after he won is just I'm getting some goosebumps here thinking about it. I mean, very inspirational how Murray was able to win today. You always think, gosh, a guy that old for tennis with a hip replacement. I mean, when he walks, it looks like he walks like me. He kind of, I mean, my body's in a lot of pain. That's why I don't play many matches anymore and just teach a lot. And occasionally I'll hit. But his body looks in pain to me, especially when he walks. But I guess he's always kind of had that painful looking walk. But now that you know what he's been through, I guess maybe it just stands out more to me. So it'll be very interesting to see if Sir Andy Murray, that's right, Sir Andy Murray, kudos to a great player. What a fighter indeed. You know, the big question mark is, you know, can he show up 2 days later after this very physical match and produce high-level tennis and play another 3 out of 5 set match? That's going to be tough to do, but maybe he can. Can Rafa win 21 here? Okay, so let's flip gears again, and let's start talking about Rafa. And absolutely, we know Rafa can win here. He's done it before, and then there was some announcer said something about, you know, you haven't reached the second week in like since, or the quarterfinals since like 2009 when you won it. And Rafa had to remind me, he goes, I hate to tell you this, but I actually got to the finals twice, and semifinals, quarterfinals. I mean, just because he hasn't won it since 2009 doesn't mean that he like sucks at the Australian Open, guys. You know, he lost to Novak a couple of times, I think, in the finals. He lost to Cilic one year when he was a little hurt. And then Cilic got all the way to the finals, and I think he lost to Federer. And last year, he was rolling. He was looking awesome at the Australian Open, got up 2 sets to nothing against Tsitsipas. Then Tsitsipas flipped the switch and just caught on fire. So this is a big opportunity for Rafa. For obvious reasons. I said it the other day, this completely changes the GOAT debate. I thought at the end of last year, Novak basically put a stamp on it and said, okay, it's mine now. I won 27 out of 28 Grand Slam matches. So he tied the other big 2 at 20, which is Federer and Nadal. And it looked like he was just going to keep going, just keep steamrolling. Who was going to stop him? I mean, the Australian Open, he owns the Australian Open. He's won there 9 times. Then we see that he comes on the medical exemption that somehow they turned out not to accept. Totally bizarre to me. If you're going to give a medical exemption, how are you then flip it back around? But it is what it is. He's not here. And so now Rafa is here. And if he wins this, he's at 21. And then you go to the French Open. And again, Novak might not be allowed to play the French Open either, guys. And Rafa has 13 of those babies. So now all of a sudden he get to 22. And then you don't even know when Novak's going to be able to play again. And you don't know mentally how he's going to be able to come back, because this had to devastate him. So Rafa, I think when you are this motivated and he looks physically fit, he looks fast. His first match, he really, really played fantastic. If you look at Rafa's draw, though, you're like, wow, that's a lot of quality opponents. So Rafa could certainly do it, but if he wins the Australian Open, guys, you know, you can't say anything about, well, Novak wasn't there, because look at his draw. You know, don't don't put an asterisk next to this Australian Open if Rafa wins it and say, well, Novak wasn't there, so like didn't really count. Look at his draw. If he wins, he's going to earn his money because he's got a lot of tough matches ahead. All right, let's see some more comments here. My money is on Rafa. Wash hands. Wash hands. I don't get that one. Do I need my hands washed? Are they dirty? They look clean to me. I don't know. Wash hands. Okay. Rafa was so humble on that interview. Yes, he was. He's just awesome. I love Rafa. I'm a Rafa fan, but very, very unfair treatment of Novak in Australia. Very sad times for tennis. Yeah, I think it's unfair. Obviously, we know that Australia has had very tough COVID restrictions since then, if you guys don't know, and that's why the numbers are spiking. There's some misinformation saying, well, the way they locked the government down, it didn't work anyway. And I'm not suggesting, I like being able to go outside. Me personally, I like having freedom. But to Australia, if you're going to give them credit during the whole pandemic, they locked it down and their numbers were flatline and they had very little deaths and everything. So you got to give them credit if they're protecting their people from getting super sick and overwhelming hospitals and a lot of death, which we've had here in the United States. That's the cost we've paid for being a little more free than Australia. But since then, if you listen to Nick Kyrgios and you read some articles, they kind of open things back up. And that's why the numbers are spiking. And then they say like Novak's a big threat coming in. But don't let him in the first. If you're so firm on the double vaccination thing, don't put medical exemptions out there. Okay. And then don't act surprised when the number one player in the world, the guy who owns your tournament, shows up at the airport and like, oh, well, hey, what are you doing here? Oh, we didn't know you were coming. Like, they just messed that up so bad, and I feel so bad for Novak. I think you either just don't let him have any chance of coming in and say, look, it's double vaccination or no tennis for you, or there's some gray area, there's some loopholes, and if we let you in, you get to stay in. That's my opinion. The French have recently done a 180 on what they said. They basically said when all this controversy was going on, they're like, well, we're going to let Novak play even if he's unvaccinated. And now they just passed a sports rule saying you can't come into the country unless you're double vaccinated. So it looks like Novak, you're either going to have to play ball with there's a John Cougar Mellencamp song that kind of reminds me of what's going on. I fight authority and authority always wins. I've been coming out since I was a kid. I come out swinging. I fight authority and authority always wins. I don't think Novak's going to win this. So I think Novak, if he wants to keep making a statement, then keep doing what you're doing. But I don't think you're going to be able to play in any Grand Slam tournaments this year if you don't get vaccinated. So it'd be interesting. Novak looked like he stumbled at Tokyo Olympics and U.S. Open. Unusual for him. Is he injured or on a downward path? He got to the finals. First of all, I was the one who said, Novak, don't go play the Olympics. Don't go to the Olympics, Novak, because it's too much tennis. The Grand Slam is the most important thing. And so I called that. He won the Australian Open. He won the French Open, which was not easy to do. He won Wimbledon. And then you turn around and go right away to the Olympics. And then you have to go back to the U.S. Open. So it's not just about the reps of hitting the ball. It's about the building pressure. It's about constantly being in the spotlight, getting zero break. The pressure just building and building and building. And we saw what happened when he played Medvedev. Medvedev played incredible. But when you saw Novak break down and cry, that was a mental fatigue breakdown. The crowd brought it on that he was excited or he was touched that the crowd accepted him and was cheering for him. He loved that. But that was a mental breakdown of exhaustion. It was too much. I don't think his game is on the downward path at all. He got to the finals under a lot of stress and strain. It was kind of amazing. He kept the train going as far as he did last year. They're protecting people, but let's see when they have eased the lockdown and how much a toll it's going to take. Yeah, they have eased it. And so now that's why the cases are spiking up. But, and the deaths are going up. I think the deaths are only like 50. So I don't know. I'm a tennis coach. I'm not going to get too much into that. I just think they did Novak wrong by letting him in and then kicking him out. I just didn't like that. And if it goes to a 3-year ban, it's completely going to destroy him. I think if he gets his vaccination, I don't think they're going to keep the 3-year ban. And, is herd immunity even a thing? I don't know if it is as much a thing because the strain can keep changing. And again, I'm not a doctor. My girlfriend is a doctor and one of the smartest people I know. And she said herd immunity can be very misleading. That's not really likely to happen because once the strain keeps changing, then, you're not really getting herd immunity. You can catch the next thing. And we don't know how the trend is going to go. I mean, is the trend hopefully going to keep going like Omicron, where the strains get less and less potent, or are we just kind of lucky right now with Omicron? Everybody's sick, but they're not getting as sick and not, dying as much. But the next one could be like a Delta variant and, be more deadly. Who knows? Who the hell knows how this thing's going to go? I don't know. I just know how to teach you how to hit a forehand, guys. That's all I know. Medi outplayed Novak in U.S. Open 2021. He sure did. Also, Novak, not at his best. No, he wasn't at his best. He wasn't at his best. And I think Medvedev was at his best and didn't really allow. Sometimes when you're playing somebody at their best, and I think that Medvedev's proving more and more like he matches up well against everybody, but he does match up well against Novak, if you noticed. And I just think that sometimes when someone's playing so well, they can also make you look like you're not playing that well. And I think it was a little bit of that going on too. So it was like a perfect storm of not working out for Novak there. All right, let's see. What else should we talk about? Anything else before we go? I think we kind of touched on everything. Nadal's looking good. Nadal could totally win this thing. Medvedev could totally win this thing. Alexander Zverev could win this thing. Then you got to start thinking of then people like Tsitsipas. Who else would be in there in your mind? Would Felix Auger be considered? I don't know. I don't know if it's Sinner. So there's some really tough opponents on the men's and the women's side. On the women's side, super excited to see Emma come back. Osaka's right there, looking good again. Barty's there. Garbine Muguruza, looking very, very good. So lots of exciting things to be. Alcaraz. Oh, yeah, Alcaraz. Yes, good pickup there. Bashkar, boy, you are on your game today. Alcaraz, yeah, very exciting. I'd love to see him go deep. He could definitely stun the world. This slam in the men's draw is a great chance for a male player to really step up now. Absolutely. Maybe Korda's time to make a statement, step up, and maybe get up to the semis. I think that's a beautiful statement by you because Korda shows all kinds of talent. Not many amazing results at a big stage yet, but wow, he came out and put the beat down on Cam Norrie. I almost wonder if Cam Norrie was injured or was Korda just that good. I told the vaccines are as successful as the polio vaccines in terms of preventing death. That was a surprise for me. Get vaxxed, protect yourself, encourage others to do, but do not be a bully or shame them. I think that's a beautiful statement. That's kind of the way I feel. I'm double vaccinated. And yeah, I think that's a good, I like it. Nice job. Hercats. John, very clutch. Yes. So you can see everybody that's been mentioned on the stream, as far as players, can go very, very far and are very dangerous. And so a lot of great tennis to look forward to. And yeah, I'm looking forward to covering a lot with it and hanging out with you guys. So if you like hanging out with me, give this video a big like on your way out. Consider subscribing. Also consider watching some of my instructional videos if you love tennis, because I teach you how to play tennis online. We do lots of cool things. Get on my email list because at the end of the month on the 27th, I'm going to be doing a live stream with Gigi Fernandez and Bob Bryan on our, we call it a Grand Slam Call of the Month. Gigi Fernandez and I, every month, talk to a different Grand Slam winner, which is kind of amazing. So make sure you get on my email list. Also in February, we're going to be doing a 7-day serve challenge to where you can get a different lesson every day and then send me your videos of your serve. So I'll help you. So lots of cool things if you stick around my channel. Thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll see you all in the next video.